You're live.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Are you singing this song?
Tanya Tucker or Tammy Wynette?
I'm glad you know, because
Tammy Wynette.
I have no idea who it is.
I think it's Tammy Wynette. Well, I got more dirt. I'll tell you later.
I have a lot in my bathroom from the river yesterday. No, just kidding. I know what you're talking
That's
about.
easier to clean up.
Okay. I'm going to write it right here so we don't forget.
And next to that, just write.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Bernadette. Morning, Dad.
Hi, Ace. Sorry, I was probably yelling at you.
Good morning, Mandy. Hey, Tom and Bernie.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Bernie. I saw Tom yesterday at church.
Did you?
Yeah. Along with that friend that I was telling you about.
Oh.
Tripped me out. It's like, whew.
Everyone needs Jesus.
Yes. But it was it was more shocking.
She's the reason I listen to country, not him. Jason's like, okay. But he was nice. He wasn't scary or anything.
No, and that's why it kind of shocked me, I think, but I was happy to see it. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer Blackwell.
And I'm Teresa Straub.
We are here live on Z93, Outlaw Country, 2 radio stations. You can stream us live at monstermediayuma.com, or you can watch us on the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed.
Yes, and if you are currently watching us on Facebook Live, why don't you hit that share button? We have some awesome guests this morning with a lot of important information that you may have a friend or two that might actually benefit from it. Or if you are listening on the radio and you do not currently follow us on Facebook Live, we encourage you to do so. It's a way to get a behind the scenes of what goes on when Z93, Outlaw Country, and MonsterMediaYuma.com all go to commercial break. Jennifer and I stay live the entire hour, and I'm looking at that schedule, and it's kind of making me sad.
I'm holding the Arizona Diamondbacks 2018 schedule in my hand, and it's been a sad last 4 days.
You know what? We had a good run.
We did, and that doesn't mean it's over. That just means we dropped that complete series, and they had some challenges. I love that they were all wearing their pink for moms yesterday.
Yes.
And starting all over today, new series, new week. You can catch the game, the D-backs versus the Brewers at 6:40 tonight on Outlaw Country.
Okay.
And they've just had that little hiccup in the year so far in the season. We can come back from this.
Oh yes, we can. It was, we were really trying to keep that winning streak going for as far as the series goes. But it's okay. It happens, and we're going to move on, and we'll get that win today.
The momentum is still up there quite high.
That's right.
All right, catch that game at 6:40 on Outlaw Country. Now, coming up on the show today, we have 2 guests from Yuma Regional Medical Center, Dr. Gregory Baker and RN Micaela Prevatke. They are going to be talking about YRMC stroke team, and recently they launched a community outreach campaign, and they're giving public talks and working with emergency medical services to spread awareness about stroke. So very important information.
Yes.
If you or anyone you know could be a benefit from this, please share our feed with them. Share, tag them in it. It's going to be valuable information that I think we should all really have at our fingertips, or at least know the resources that are available.
I agree.
Now, we have a few birthdays. On Friday, we didn't mention the weekend birthdays, so we want to make sure to include those right now. Yesterday, Leah Herrera had a birthday.
Yes, and her son, actually, they celebrate the birthday on the same day. So Leah and Manny Berry, we want to wish you a happy birthday as well.
All right. I've known Manny since he was born.
Yep, he's 9 years old.
He's a handsome little fella. Darcy Root also celebrated a birthday.
Yes, she's also a fellow cat lady.
Woohoo! those fat ladies. And Drew Layout had a birthday yesterday. Now, today we have a special 13th wedding anniversary. Jennifer and Ian Reeve. I believe they live back in the East Coast, but Jennifer grew up here, and her brother is Benny Rodriguez, her little brother. And Benny is still up. I think he's at Phoenix Children's Hospital.
He is.
But good news, as of this weekend, I think, Benny was removed from ICU, and he's been moved to a room on the 7th floor.
Thank goodness.
So he is still fighting. He is one of the toughest young men I have ever had the pleasure of knowing.
Yeah.
He is so remarkable, but he is out of ICU and really looking forward to lots of visitors. The sweetest photo of him and his dad was posted this morning. So
I have to go check that one out.
Yes, absolutely. And, okay, more birthdays today. Catherine O'Donnell is celebrating.
Yes, happy birthday.
Along with Don Hine, Patricia Newberry, Stephen Robinson, and Ashanti Santos. She is 16, right?
I saw that on Facebook this morning.
Well, happy 16th birthday, Ashanti. And if you have a birthday coming up, it's a wish for yourself or a loved one or friend, please go to monstermediayuma.com. Click on the Today in Yuma page, and you will see the Firehouse Celebrate banner.
That's right.
And we have a short form. All you need to do is fill that out and get the birthday submitted.
That's right. Little's commenting that his son Liam's is coming up on the 30th. Little, if you can go shoot us a message on the Facebook Live, on our web page, or just shoot me a message. That way I can remember to put it on the calendar when the show's over.
That's right. And on Mondays, we take all the birthdays from last week. We put them in a box, and we cut them up in little strips.
Yes.
And we have someone in the studio draw a winner.
Today they're extra little.
Today they are extra little. I didn't make them a larger font or separate them. So they're very tiny.
Yes, they are.
And one winner will receive gift cards for a medium sub from Firehouse Subs, a soda or drink, because they have non-soda beverages.
That's right.
Also, chips and a dessert from Firehouse Subs. They are the sponsors of our Firehouse Sub birthday shout-outs, and they're brought to you by the Firehouse Public Safety Foundation, saving lives through donation grants. Buy more subs, save more lives.
There you go.
All right, Anita is going to pick our winner today, because I think she could read the small font.
I hope so.
All right, I told you they're tiny.
Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson.
Hey, he's one of our local monsters. Tim, congratulations. You are the winner of lunch from Firehouse Subs.
That's right. Get those entries in, and please give us at least 24 hours if you do have a birthday coming up, so we can get it included on our calendar.
That's right.
Well, today is May 14th. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And
do you enjoy your day?
I did. I was very spoiled all day long. And my son's wonderful, sweet girlfriend, Destiny, got me I love what she got me, because it's also funny. She got me a new Diamondback license plate cover, which I need.
I'm jealous.
I need for my new vehicle.
Yes.
And then she also got me one of their throwback water bottles. I think she's trying to force me to drink water.
It's okay.
And a D-back keychain. And she also threw in 2 blue ring pops, because their goal is to try and get me to turn Dodger blue. Her and her mom.
It's not going to happen. But okay. At least you get candy out of it.
And my son started the morning off with giving me a framed prom photo of him and Destiny. And then he gave me a gift bag, which also includes a cat shirt.
Ooh.
He knows me so well.
Is it one you don't have?
No, I don't have this one yet. So I added it to my stash. Okay. My goal is to try and make it through the end of June. That gives me a year and a half without repetition.
You said last year, you would start recycling the next year. No, it has not happened.
I have a couple more on order, and then I have 3 more that I have not worn yet.
Oh my goodness.
This makes 4 yesterday. He framed another photo for me, and I love it because they match the decor of my family room.
He paid attention to detail.
I was thinking that was the case, and he said he was trying to match them to their color scheme, which happened to match my living room. He goes, "Oh, awesome, score for me."
Exactly.
And then he got me a cat photo frame that I think it says "I love my cat." And then there's another one it's a round frame shaped like a fat yellow cat.
Yeah.
And I have several cat figurines that they have gotten me years past. And he goes, "You now have all the figurines that store carries."
Oh, cool.
So he moved on to something else this time. And then he came in. We went to brunch with Destiny and her mom. Had a lot of fun doing that. And came home and he goes, "Hang on." He also had a dozen roses that he left in the car.
So no, were they still alive?
They were. They're toasty. They're toasty roses at 11:30 in the morning.
How funny.
It was a wonderful day. And then we rounded it out having Mother's Day dinner at a local establishment with Grandma, who's 99 and just over a half now.
Wow.
And one of our aunts, Aunt Joy, flew in from Iowa. And she wanted to be there to spend time with her mom, and
Yeah.
her kids were back home, so we're already making plans possibly for a big 100th celebration in October.
How fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it was a night out, and it was so fun to see all the other families with their moms.
Yeah, definitely. My Mother's Day was very similar. I got up early. Eli got up early with me. We went to church with my mom, and my Nana showed up, and so we had a nice mass, and then we went and delivered flowers. I think we woke everybody up yesterday because we went to the 7 o'clock mass, so by 8:30 we were already running around delivering flowers. But we had a nice breakfast, and I think my favorite gift is the one. I love Eli's hand. We were talking about him the other day, the handmade gifts he did. He drew a family portrait of Kevin and Eli and myself, and then it was laminated, and then they had the little card. I think that was my favorite. My mom, we spent the day with my mom and my brother and the rest of the family out at the river. So I did wear sunscreen. I did get I still got a tan even though I wore sunscreen. So it was nice. It was a nice day out at the river.
Well, it is May 14th. Today is also National Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
Ooh, that sounds good right about now.
Buttermilk biscuits are always good. It's National Dance Like a Chicken Day.
Okay.
And there's actually some interesting history behind that. It was written in the 1950s by Werner Thomas, a Swiss accordionist.
Mm-hmm.
And the chicken dance didn't really make it to the United States until sometime in the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's associated with polkas or it says pa music.
Yeah.
Originally written with the name Der Ententans. Not sure exactly what that means. I think it translates to the bird dance.
Okay.
Somehow. But in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Oktoberfest in 2004, Vince Neil, a rock musician, served as the Grand Marshal of the world's largest chicken dance. And there are multiple other attempts at the chicken dance record all the way up through 2010. And it was 24 city blocks long, which is equivalent to 1.627 miles long.
Oh my gosh.
And that was in Mandan, North Dakota in 2010.
Wow, if I would have known, I would have made sure we had the music so we could do it.
Okay, I'll give you more notice next time. It's also National Underground America Day, and this actually involves the people who live underground. And there are about 6,000 people in the United States who observe this day. It says if you like lots of light and throwing up the windows, this lifestyle is not for you, because that will not be possible. One of the top advantages to a subterranean dwelling is energy conservation, and completely covered homes or earth-sheltered homes are covered on all sides with earth, while burned homes leave one side exposed.
Okay.
So obviously it's going to be cooler if you're underground, and that might be something that humans would consider down the road, maybe.
Yeah.
But with the soil here, I don't, there's several factors
it would
that come
be
into
really
play.
hard to do with our soil here.
Well, it's also National Women's Checkup Day. And that we all need to take in mind. It's our well checkups. Make sure you see your physician and have those important things checked out, because there's only one you.
That's right.
And you can discuss those things with some of the screenings with your physician. That might include blood pressure, cholesterol, cervical cancer screenings, and other important things. So take care of yourselves.
That's right.
All right, and one last quick thing before we head to break. Some Odyssey students earned scholarships and a trip to the World Finals.
Oh, wow.
3 local teammates earned college scholarships through the International Educational Association Odyssey of the Mind at the April Arizona State Competition, where their Yuma Catholic team and the East Valley Creative Kids community team also earned a trip to the Odyssey of the Mind World Finals. That will be in Ames, Iowa, on May 23rd through the 27th. Yuma Catholic seniors Nathan Winery and Quentin Hennig both earned state and national college scholarships. And Jordan Elliott, also a senior, brought home a state scholarship. And the 2 teams, as you can imagine, are busy doing fundraising right now to help raise the $20,000 that they need to finance the trip. And expense includes airfare, room and board on the campus of the host school, that's Iowa State, registration fees, rental cars, and supplies for Odyssey traditions like pen trading and shirt swapping. And both teams have been working all school year to develop and refine an 8-minute skit that solves one of 5 published problems. Now, the 2 teams are linked by their coaches who have many years of Odyssey of the Mind experience. Dawn Winery teaches for both U of A and Arizona Western College. And Adele Hennig, who works at Community Intervention Associates, won last year's Heart of Yuma Volunteer of the Year Award for her dedication to local Odyssey kids over the next 2 decades. Well, this is where you have the opportunity to help out as a community and enjoy dinner at the same time. If you'd like to support the teams, they're hosting a takeover at Lutz Casino and a silent auction this Wednesday, May 16th from 5 to 8 p.m. They will have a plethora of prizes from over 24 local businesses like Bare Naked Soap Co. and many others. The teams get a percentage of the food sales that night when diners mention Odyssey of the Mind. So make sure that you do
mention it.
Say that when you are at Lutz Casino. What a great opportunity. The Yuma Catholic team is made of Nathan Winery, Quentin Hennig, Jordan Elliott, Caitlin Laseth, Belen Anakin, I'm not sure how to say or Belin's last name, Miguel Medez Perulas, and the East Valley Creative Kids Community Team, which is not affiliated with the school, is made up of Emerson and Oliver Bahunan, Liza Drake, Bailey Navy, and Mary Stoft.
Well, let's get out there and support all of those local kids, because you know what, they're doing great things in representing Yuma. And you know, I know when we put the call out to the community, they always come back and we usually meet our goal, whatever the goal may be. I know Barbara Rochester shared some information this week about the Mother's Day. She put the call out for some gifts for the mothers. They had a Mother's Day like brunch that they wanted to do for the mothers that are there at the shelter, and they met that goal.
They did. She sent me a photo yesterday, and I know our very own Anita had a bag of purses she donated to, so thank you. And then Barbara wanted to make sure that we let everyone know that Catherine's Cupcakery provided cupcakes for all of the people at the celebration. So just a remarkable event. Again, thank you, Crossroads Mission and Miss Pauline from Catherine's Cupcakery.
That's right.
Now, there's also, I did share this on social media earlier. It's on Facebook for the Odyssey of the Mind. The East Valley Creative Kids also have a GoFundMe link if you're not able to make it to Lutz for dinner. So just go look for that link and check that out if you're able to donate. Even a couple dollars helps here and there.
Sounds good.
All right, it's time for our first break on Today in Yuma on Z93 Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com. We'll be back with folks from YRMC talking about strokes next. Today in Yuma is brought to you by Classic Accounting. With 30 years of experience and knowledge, you can trust Classic Accounting with your business payroll and monthly bookkeeping needs. Call 343-1040.
And Sprague Sports, they offer training courses including Arizona CCW, First Shot, Hunter Education, and more. Plus, there's always a gunsmith on duty. You can find them on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
And if your home isn't comfortable, it might be time to call a professional. Call Quick Refrigeration at 782-3691. Quick Refrigeration has been heating and cooling the Yuma area since 1955.
And Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists. You know, right now, all of those creepy crawlers are starting to come out. We have reptiles, we have ants, crickets, cockroaches, silverfish, spiders, scorpions, all of those yucky pests that we don't want in our house. Well, right now, they have a pest control special going on for one low price of $89. You get exterior pest control service for June, July, and August. To take advantage of that, all you need to do is give them a call today at 928-343-9149. Message them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram and Snapchat.
It's Today in Yuma. We'll be back after the break.
to snap you?
Yeah, when I was getting my drink this morning, they have a little ledge, and a straw had fallen right up against the wall. And I was telling Lynn, I go, there's a straw. He thought I said a spider.
He's looking all scared.
Good morning. Now you will be on Facebook Live. You're early. We'll just have you in right now. We don't have another guest this morning. So if we have questions, then I know you're both.
Hi, I'm Teresa.
Hi. All right,
Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Teresa.
Micaela.
Have a seat right on over there. I know. How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm well. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want your chair over in the corner?
Oh, sure.
See, I guess I just sensed that they were here. They're at 9:30.
Go ahead and grab the microphone and pull it on up towards you. You're going to want it right up by your mouth there.
There you go. Perfect.
This is their notes, right?
Uh-huh. There should be 2 pages.
Yes.
think they're backwards.
Are they?
Mine are. Yours are correct. Mine are.
Okay. No problem.
Sometimes I forget to print copies for her.
Oh, you guys are a great team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chemistry.
All right, we have about a minute and a half.
Okay.
Or a minute 20 seconds, actually.
It's a beautiful day out there.
It really is. It really is. I'm taking advantage of these mild temperatures.
Low 90s.
I want to see the chicks. How are the chicks?
They were out there this morning.
Yeah.
We had 2 sets of them, 2 different, like 2 mamas out there.
When we left on Saturday, when Jason and I put the equipment away, we were heading out, and there were about 14 of them.
Oh my
probably had a
gosh.
couple-
14?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple little mamas, a few little clutches hanging out together.
Nice.
Yeah, we're only looking at 91 today. I'll take it. You can feel
Monster
it.
Media Petting Zoo.
Isn't that a funny thing where you're
Excited about
excited about
It's like when September starts going downhill, it's like, oh, it's only going to be 104? So excited. Whatever you use.
Only.
You could tell you're from Yuma when.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
excited for the 90s.
The air is not on fire, huh?
Jacket's a baby. That's true.
She mentioned that it was going to be in the 90s this week. And I'm like, oh man, we plan to go to the river. She's like, I'm sure you'll be fine. We were fine.
Like,
Take a jacket.
river water's cold at 90 degrees.
It was chilly, but once you got used to it, it was fine. Like, that's too chilly to go to the river. No. Most places they're like, I need to get in the water now. All right, here we go. Okay, are we ready? Are you reading Little's comments?
Little comment.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah. Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We are live here on Z93, Outlaw Country, monstermediayuma.com if you'd like to stream the show, or you can watch us on Facebook Live. We originate the cast from the live feed from my personal page, but it is open to the public.
That's right.
And then we share it on the station page.
We do that just so that you guys can set it up to where you can get notifications. It's harder. You get like a little message and pop up when Jennifer goes live if we use her personal page. So we try to do it that way, so that way everybody knows what's going on.
Now, next up, we have 2 guests in the studio today from Yuma Regional Medical Center. We have Neurologist Dr. Gregory Baker. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning, thank you.
And we also have RN Micaela Prevatke. Thank you so much for coming in, Micaela.
Thanks for having us.
All right, now we are here today because you are associated with Yuma Regional Medical Center Stroke Team, and you've recently launched a community outreach campaign. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we just started actually really getting into our community outreach campaign with the community. We hope in the next couple of years to really develop it into some more permanent events that's going to help with letting the community know the signs and symptoms of stroke and how to prevent stroke, because it is preventable.
Okay, now explain what a stroke is, doctor.
A stroke is when an area of brain tissue is damaged because of lack of oxygen or glucose, and this most commonly happens because of a blood clot. The blood clot can happen because an artery closes off from, let's say, high cholesterol over the years, that type of thing, or it can happen from the heart. You can get a blood clot forming your heart if people have abnormal heart rhythms, and it'll go to the brain. When it blocks the artery, the tissue beyond that doesn't get enough oxygen, and whatever that tissue did as a function no longer functions at that time. That's one type of stroke. The other type is a bleeding in the brain. This is most commonly associated with high blood pressure, sometimes aneurysms, but these are much less common than the ischemic type of stroke, which was the first type I was talking about.
Okay, well, I love that the outreach is just gaining a lot of momentum, too, here in the community. I know several individuals who have suffered strokes over the years. My mother had a stroke. She had heart disease. She has since passed away. But just the signs of what to watch for are so very important.
Absolutely. And the reason is that there is 20, 30 years ago, there were not medications that could be used to treat stroke, but now that there are. And so looking for the signs or symptoms of stroke, a facial droop that comes on suddenly, numbness or weakness on one side of the body, the inability to speak correctly. Even visual loss can sometimes be a sign of an acute stroke, or walking suddenly like you're inebriated, your balance is off, that type of thing. That can also be a symptom of a stroke. In addition, An acute severe headache can be a sign of a bleeding type of stroke. So these are things that a lot of people often, I use the word poo-poo, but they downplay and they won't seek medical attention.
And we're not trying to cause any panic
No,
if you've
definitely not.
if you've
Yeah.
had an ongoing headache for a little while, because there are multiple things associated with that. But we're trying to create awareness about some of the things that you might not know are associated with strokes.
And I like that it says here you guys, YRMC has partnered with local emergency medical service teams to facilitate rapid transportation of these stroke patients to the emergency room, where you have teams there ready to, take care of it right away, because that's the necessity. The quicker you can get it taken care of and get on top of it, the less damage essentially that can happen.
And I'll let Micaela talk about working with emergency services.
We do work a lot with EMS. The thing is, we want people to come in by ambulance. A lot of times people want to drive in, they think, oh, I'm right down the block from the hospital and I just want to drive into the hospital. We want you to call 911. We want you to come in that way, because we work really closely with EMS. We make sure that there's a smooth transition. They call us ahead of time and say, hey, we have a stroke patient, get ready. And we get ready. We know the emergency department, it stands ready when EMS calls. We do education with them quite a few times a year, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we're all up to date on the most recent practices for it.
If someone is coming in, say, from a little further out, maybe in either the foothills or the East County area, is there something EMS can actually administer on the emergency vehicle, because it would take a longer time to get here?
No, they don't care anything to administer that at that point. But they are able to talk about blood pressures and tell us what the symptoms are, and then it just gives us that extra little time to get ready for them to know. We can get our stroke team, ready. We can tell them they're coming in. The emergency department physicians are ready. We know there's a stroke patient coming in. That saves valuable minutes. Strokes happen by the minute. It's not just come in a little bit, you'll be fine. It's going to happen. We need to have you in right away.
And we've also got them drawing blood now. So instead of us having to draw blood when they hit the door, they've drawn the blood and we immediately take to the lab.
Hand it off.
Because the medication that's used to treat the blood clot type of stroke, there are certain labs that have to be done ahead of time. So the quicker that we get that done, the better. And EMS has really bought into this and getting the blood drawn. So that's been very, very helpful. So that's another thing that happens. And one of the things we'll talk about with stroke is that if you're a candidate for the medication, every minute we delay treatment, 2 million neurons die.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking, it's a strange thing to think about that minutes make that big a difference, but they do make that big a difference. So when Micaela and I started this, getting EMTs involved and out in the community, the first step is getting the community education so people know to come and to call 911. But the second thing is getting EMTs involved so we can cut minutes off by blood draws. Well, those couple minutes make a difference.
A huge difference. Well, strokes are the 5th leading cause of death in the United States, and they kill about 140,000 Americans each year. And while people may figure, well, we have millions and millions and millions of people in the country, that ends up being 1 out of every 20 deaths.
Yes.
Those are some staggering numbers.
And here's the good side to that, and I don't want to say there's a good side to the fifth leading cause of death. Just several years ago, before Alteplase, this medication was invented, it was the 3rd leading cause of death in this country. So we've actually seen a measurable change. Now, it is still the #1 leading cause of disability, which is one of the important things of people being aware of what the symptoms of stroke are and getting 911 and getting to the hospital as quickly as possible, because they may be a candidate for the medication, which certainly has been shown to decrease disability long term in the population.
Right. Well, for a long time, people associated strokes with the elderly population, but that's not necessarily the case.
That is correct. It is more common as we get older, but it can happen in younger populations, especially if there's a genetic history, if people have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking. These are all things that are significant stroke risk factors, and the more of them people have, they're at risk for stroke at a younger age.
Well, you mentioned your team. Kind of give us a little background on your team, because you're a team of 3, correct? Your stroke team?
We are. So I am the stroke coordinator. I started in October 2016 and joined Dr. Baker, who has been working.
I've been here for 5 years working at the hospital, trying to, envisioning this stroke program where I wanted to see it go. And then we have Dr. Sullivan, who's a stroke neurologist that works in Tucson, but also works here full-time for 2 weeks, 24/7 on. And that's just the neuro team, but the stroke team is much bigger than that.
It is. EMS is on our stroke team, our emergency room physicians and nurses, We have rehab staff, we have nutrition, we have a great deal of people that are in on our stroke team at the hospital. We have specialized stroke nurses that stay with the patient through the whole hospital stay as well. That we've done a lot of work with, a lot of education with.
Well, education is key to exactly what we're talking about today, because a lot of these things can be preventable, and simply, consulting unless you are in the situation of actually experiencing a stroke or a loved one is doing so, have your labs done and get blood work done by your primary care physician. And if you're having any other symptoms, but that you might think are leading up to this, high blood pressure obviously is a big cause. If you're experiencing issues with that, get in and see your physician, because medication can also assist with that. But again, you don't want people to go to their primary care physician if they think they are having or have had a stroke. That will just delay the process. And again, 2 million neurons, how quickly?
A minute.
A minute.
A minute.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we see. We see the mentality, if I just take a nap, the symptoms will go away. Well, the important thing about this medication is it has to be given within 4.5 hours and you meet criteria. Well, by the time you take a nap, and at that point it might be too late, and you're not a candidate for the medication. And that is one of the most common things. I was just hoping the symptoms would go away. If I took a nap, or maybe I relaxed, or that they would not be there, and then it's often too late by the time they get to the hospital. And that's why getting the education out there, that if that sudden loss of speech or that sudden facial droop and the sudden weakness, even if, let's say, they're not a candidate for the medication, let's say there's some criteria that there's something, they had a surgery recently, or there's some reason, there's still important things that can happen. So why did you have the stroke? Well, you have blockage in the arteries of your neck. We check their blood pressure. We see what their heart rhythm is. We check their cholesterol. We assess all the risk factors while they're in the hospital being assessed that first time, and then try to prevent future and get them on a program, medication-wise, exercise-wise, diet-wise, and then rehab, if necessary-wise, to try to prevent further stroke.
Right. Susie says, you mentioned irregular heartbeats. Does that include murmurs?
Murmurs are typically not associated with stroke, often benign. A lot of people have murmur. That's an abnormal, a leaky valve that causes an abnormal heart sound. Now, a rare circumstance with that is something called endocarditis that can come with a murmur, which is a pretty sick condition, where inflammation of a valve that can sometimes be associated with stroke. But typically, murmurs by themselves are not directly a stroke risk factor.
Well, we know our bodies better than anyone else. So if we start to see things or feel things that are not quite the norm for what we're experiencing, we do need to seek medical help. I had a situation that started a few years ago, and I thought, you know what, am I having a stroke? There's some oddities with what was my balance, various issues. I have a type of vertigo. But I did go to my physician. I wasn't symptomatic of anything else involving a stroke, but that was my first thought. That really was a genuine concern for me.
That is a great point, because the one masquerader is dizziness and vertigo and trouble walking. A lot of people don't see this as a stroke symptom, because it can be inner ear. It can be associated with migraine. It can be associated with neuropathy and a lot of different things. However, the back part of our brain, when people have an acute stroke, or if the blood flow going to the back part of the brain is not very good, they present with ataxia, which is difficulty walking, vertigo, which is this room-spinning sensation. It can look very similar to an inner ear infection, but one's much more severe than the other.
Right. Well, just different things to watch for.
Yeah, definitely. And with this program that you've launched, the community outreach and things, are you guys going to be giving talks out to the community so people become more aware? And how do they find out about that information?
So we've already done a couple of talks to Silver Care, our program at YRMC. But we are more than willing to do other presentations. And if anybody wants to do that, they can always get a hold of me. My number is 928-336-2442. And give me a call, and we can set up some lectures or some presentations for anyone.
So you're open to go out and anybody that may have a group, or even during the winter months when we have all of our winter visitors here, going out to the different communities where they are and actually talking to them about these and this prevention, really, because you want to prevent it before it actually happens.
Correct. And we can talk about that. I caught myself earlier saying we're starting with EMT all the way to the hospital. But really, it doesn't start there. Where we need to get out is that next step. It's got to start in the kitchen.
Exactly.
It's got to, so they understand when they drop that cup of coffee in the morning, that's not normal. Now, don't wait for it to go away. Let's get to the hospital now. And it kind of spreads like a wildfire. You get a little bit of education to a few people, they tell their friends, and we don't want to, again, like you said earlier, not start a panic, but it is
Something to be aware of.
it is something to be aware of. And several years ago, they tried changing the name of stroke to brain attack because everybody considers heart attack an emergency, and they don't mess around. They get to the hospital
true.
quickly. The brain attack never caught on, but it's that important. It's that big of an issue that needs to be assessed quickly.
Well, Doctor, one of our Facebook Live viewers noticed your double helix tattoo, and he thinks that's pretty awesome.
Well, thank you. Times have changed when it comes to tattoos in the medical profession, that's for sure.
Well, the same individual also says 2 million neurons destroyed in 2 minutes sounds like the first time I got married. So we have to add a little levity to any situation
Absolutely.
here on Today in Yuma.
We have a question too. Cindy's asking, what ages do people get strokes? And it varies, correct?
It does vary. It's more common as we get older. After age 55 is considered an independent risk factor, so it's definitely every decade we get older, and that's because all the risk factors, things like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, not only are they more common as we get older, but the long-term effects of those things are greater over time. Now, in younger populations can get them as well. People can have clotting defects, they can have abnormal heart rhythms. Drug use is a big one. Drugs like methamphetamines and cocaine can cause stroke. Excess alcohol use can cause bleeding types of stroke. So in the younger population, it's different. Also, and not to get everybody in an uproar about migraines and pregnancy, but there's a slight increased risk of stroke in patients that are in younger, like things like pregnancy. Your blood's a little bit thicker, so it's a slightly increased. And migraine, there's a slight increased risk. So there are things in younger patients. We approach younger patients completely. I'm sorry for interrupting, Micaela. There's the workup's a little different. Sometimes there's some blood work. As there a blood clotting disorder, we'll do other blood work or a little more detailed look at the heart to see if there's a hole in the heart, that type of thing in the younger patient. I'm sorry.
And younger people, I think, tend to have want to play off their symptoms and think, of course, it's a stroke, just like you were kind of talking
It's
about.
not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm too young for that.
Right. Strokes don't happen to young people, but they do, and it's better to get it checked out and make sure that that's not what it is, and it is one of the masqueraders, versus having a stroke and having permanent damage when you could have had some treatment done.
All right. Well, great information today, and I love that you're reaching out to the community. And we'll stay on top of any of the different events you're having, where we can help educate the community, because maybe if there's a large enough group too that's interested, we can help with you to facilitate an engagement just to apprise more people about the importance and the education of several of the key facts that you've shared with us today. And I know the list is even longer than that, but you're busy people, you're saving lives. So we need to get you back to the hospital.
We're having a Facebook Live event with YRMC on Thursday, the 17th at noon on the YRMC website.
Okay.
Dr. Baker will be answering some stroke-related questions that day, so we would love the community to come out and see that.
Okay, if they go and follow the Yuma Regional Medical Center page on Facebook, they'll be able to see it there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I know Teresa and I both like the page, so we'll make sure we share that too. So
Exactly.
that's something I definitely like to follow up on and see for myself.
Very good.
All right, we want to thank you both so much, Dr. Gregory Baker and Micaela Prevatke, for coming in for Today in Yuma today from Yuma Regional Medical Center. It's time to take our Lotus Day Spa and Salon selfie out in the courtyard. We'll be back with more show after the break. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting. They have 30 years of experience and knowledge to benefit you and your business. They can help with your business payroll and monthly bookkeeping needs. Give them a call today at 343-1040.
And Sprague Sports, visit their partner location, Truckmates, Yuma's home for snug top shelves and lids, Linex spray and bed liners, 3M window tinting, and BDS suspension. You can find them at Spragues.com or on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
And quick refrigeration. Today is only going to be around 91 degrees for Yuma, but those triple digits will be back in the forecast before you know it. If your home isn't comfortable, it might be time to call a professional. Call Quick Refrigeration today at 782-3691. They've been heating and cooling in the Yuma area since 1955.
And our friends over at Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists, they are locally owned and have been providing pest control services in the Yuma area for over 20 years. They are licensed with the Arizona Game and Fish Department for safe, humane wildlife relocation. You can give them a call today at 928-343-9149. Better yet, go like their Facebook page. They have lots of things going on there. You can find out all about their pest control specials, and, every now and then you get a giveaway in there too.
It's Today in Yuma on Z93, Outlaw Country, Monster Media, Yuma.com, and of course the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. We'll be back after the break.
Good job.
Yes,
Great
information.
guys.
Lots of information. Come on out this way. See the chickies out there? I see Mama.
No, just Mama.
She's looking for the good bug spot. All right, well,
Right over there by Jen.
Right over here. We'll get Darren in there too. He's tall. Well, that's taller.
I think important people to run.
All right, here we go. Ready? Smile. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it was nice meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
See you soon.
Oh, you got my eye out. I know it's cold in there.
Good to see you. You well. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna make these real quick.
Oh, you got stuff in there? All right.
Oh, yeah.
We were playing, and once everybody left at the river yesterday, we were kicking the ball around with the boys. And you forget, sand is hard to play
Yes,
in.
it is.
I'm noticing it right now when I go to sit. I'm like, oh, my legs are a little bit
Why
sore.
am I sore?
It's the sand. Just trying to kick that ball in the sand.
A lot of people are having high utility bills already.
You know what?
We did get ours, and it was like $145.
Ours went down, but we keep our house cool, like we do, and I think we found a nice medium throughout the day, and they change their peak hours and things, which is fine because it's when it starts to cool off anyways. So when we do turn it back on, we don't turn it like some people will turn it all the way to like 80 some when they're gone. Kevin likes it cold. It's like 76 in my house, 76, 78 degrees.
You have a smaller house too. That helps too.
We do. We have a
But
smaller house.
Someone posted last week their bill was normally $600 and it doubled. I think they have a really big house.
See, we do that equalizer plan, and
That's
I don't
what we do,
mind.
and mine didn't change.
You can adjust.
Mine went down.
You can adjust it yourself online, but people are afraid if they adjust it, they won't be benefiting themselves. What if they pick the wrong option?
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
found the one that works well for
We
us,
do,
and
too.
I don't mind. Yes, I know some people have some really, really low bills in the wintertime, and I think it helps too. We have gas in our
Yes.
neighborhood, but we found a nice medium, and ours actually went down. This month it went down, so I was like, oh, yes, we're
Ours
doing the
went
right
down
thing.
a few months ago.
months
It went
ago.
down, yeah.
Now
But
if I can just
now
get
it's
Eli
the same.
to remember to shut the doors.
That's the biggest challenge, right?
And he'll just kind of swing it, and then it closes, but it's not closed. I'm like, Eli, shut that door. If we can get that, I think would be good.
There you go.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We are here on Z93, Outlaw Country, Monster Media, Yuma.com, and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. And we want to thank Dr. Baker and Micaela, a registered nurse from YRMC, for coming in and talking about strokes and stroke prevention.
Yes, lots of important information, and I'm glad that they're doing this outreach. And like we said, if you have a group or a community, whether it be like a care facility or anything like that, there's a lot of different places here in town where they have elderly care. Why not go in there? That way, make them a little bit more aware of those symptoms so that they can take care of them if somebody's not actually there to do it, to take care of them.
That's right.
themselves. So.
And there are support groups for several different things in the Yuma community. There is a stroke support group that meets, and one of the people that was at least pretty active for a while, she had a stroke in her 30s. That's why I brought up the point, people, it's not just always older people, the older population, that are the ones that suffer strokes. I know several different individuals who are considerably younger, and again, with that, the response time is of utmost importance.
Yeah, the the effects of the stroke vary from person to person. I know there's some people that can bounce right back from it and be pretty much back to normal, but then you have those that, you know, end up needing care for the rest of their lives. So it's nice to have those support groups and people there to help you and let you know you're not alone, and this is how we can help you.
Right. My mom ended up having a blockage in her carotid artery, and the result of that, because she was actually at a regular checkup, and she always had blood pressure issues, and her blood pressure was pretty high that day, and they said, we're sending you over to the hospital right now, which is across the parking lot.
Yeah.
And they got her in immediately, and some of the primary things that she suffered from after that, it was certainly weakness in the left hand.
Yeah.
She switched from buying gallons of milk or orange juice or water to the smaller containers because she just had
She couldn't hold it.
Yeah, it was that weakness that was there. It was primarily the left side,
Yeah.
and that was still with a quicker response time. But again, this was over 10 years ago too, and medicine has already changed substantially in that short amount of time.
Exactly.
But as with anything else, it's how quickly you can get to a medical facility and be seen by the professionals.
That's right.
All right, now we have summer break right around the corner for many of our students.
No, Eli, it's not next week.
Sorry. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, little buddy.
You still have 2 weeks, buddy.
Yes, I know we spoke with Hillary and Alyssa on Friday about the summer camps for Humane Society of Yuma. Those are definitely a lot of fun. And obviously there was a huge amount of interest last year when they had their kickoff season. So they've added several more work sessions, and the age groups that, you know, they kind of fine-tuned it. It's ages 9 through 13. They have to be old enough to have an understanding of why some of the things are done involving the animals.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not ideal for your 5 and 6 year olds, because sometimes the animals might be a little skittish too. Around kids.
But you can still introduce them to the volunteer setting. You know, as long as they have a parent with them, they can still volunteer. You can, you know, go out and, like I said, the parent has to be with them, but why not start them early, and then maybe they can transition to something like these summer programs. I love all of the different topics that they have, because they range, you know, Forever Friends, Pet Talk, Critter Careers. I love that. Paw Pack, Humane Heroes, Marketing Mutts and Meows, and Pet University. So you never know, you know, if you start them young with the volunteering and then get them into these summer camps, you may have a future vet on your hands. You never know.
Exactly, or also our future volunteer base.
Exactly.
That's the thing with a lot of these organizations. They need volunteers in the community to help out. And for a lot of these people have been volunteering for a number of years.
Yeah.
There's one local nonprofit. They had one lady who volunteered well into her early 90s.
Oh my goodness.
But it's been challenging for them to recruit a new crop of people to step in, kind of pick up some of that slack and help out. So if there's an organization, you have a passion for it, you know, they have volunteers for different law enforcement entities.
Exactly.
Volunteers at Yuma Regional Medical Center. You have volunteers in the gift shop, or driving the carts, or maybe the book cart. There's just so many opportunities. Now, we've been talking too about I have on my news at least, the free meals for kids and teens this summer. They are kicking back off here very soon on June 4th. And that was one of the things people were so concerned about when we had the school walkout and school was not being held. Several of the cafeterias did maintain breakfast and lunch services for the students those days. And someone actually commented when I listed one of, I don't know if it was the high school district or District 1, their summer food service program. They said, well, this is why we don't have any money. And someone followed up and explained that it's a federal.
It is.
It's a federal program.
It
so
is.
it wasn't the money that comes from local stuff anyway.
And you know what? That's money I wouldn't mind spending. I mean, if it means that a child's going to get to eat that day, that's money I don't mind spending.
Right. We need to have Anita chime in. Go ahead and have a seat and pull your mic up. Anita has considerable background too in understanding the food insecurity needs. She was with the Yuma Community Food Bank for a time, and you know, she's been in educational settings before too. Now we have a large food insecurity rate for children in the state of Arizona.
We do.
Yuma County is high.
It's very high, and especially now as we're moving away from the agricultural season, we're going to see that those families are going to increase in a need for sustainability of food. And another element that people don't think about is our children are our future. So my children, your children, the children that are younger, they're going to be who runs Yuma County in 20 years. And if we don't invest in them now, we're not investing in our future. And that's something I really want someone wrap your head around that concept. And there's a direct link between food insecurity or not getting enough to eat and your ability to learn. So, if you look at, I'm going to invest in these students, these children, because they are our future, and I want them to be able to learn.
Exactly. Look at how we get, when it's getting to be lunchtime and we're trying to get something done, and we just can't focus because our body needs that nourishment.
Exactly.
Our brain needs that to function. When you have that hunger pain, I couldn't imagine.
I was a child that had hunger pains, so I understand, and I personally I understand what that's like and how it's hard to focus because you're hungry. And it is one of the most uncomfortable feelings I've ever had. And, being a mother of 4 boys, we always had free food in our house. I'm like, fruits and vegetables, cheese products, you can get this whenever you want it, because I know what it's like not to be able to sustain that hunger.
That's right. Well, during the school year, students have meals, whether it's free or reduced lunches at schools, that's afforded as an opportunity. But then summertime would come and they suddenly didn't have that nutrition during the weekdays, and sometimes even during the school year. The backpack program and some of the power packs have helped assist with weekend nourishment for these kids, but there would be nothing once summertime hit.
Exactly, and I love that they've opened the summer feeding programs throughout Yuma County. I know the Yuma Community Food Bank offers breakfast and lunch, and that's free to children, so take advantage of that. I think the libraries offer lunches as well. There's a lot of opportunity to get food, and they try to do it within neighborhood organizations, schools.
Right. I have a list here, and this is for the Yuma Union High School District, the sites, and there's different times. I won't give the times because there are a lot of them, but you mentioned the neighborhoods. We have American Legion Post 19, that's on South Virginia Drive, Carver Pool, Cibola High School, Gila Ridge High School, the Joe Henry Optimus Center, Kennedy Pool, Marcus Pool, the Martin Luther King Youth Center, the Scouts Service Center, that's the Goldsmith Building on 3rd Street. Also Sierra Pacific Mobile Home Park, that's not really near any school.
No,
so that's giving the population in that area an opportunity to have breakfast or lunch. Vince Nelson Vista, Vista High School, Yuma Civic Center, the Yuma Community Food Bank, the library main branch in Yuma High School, and they also have several sites in San Luis. That includes the Bienestar Apartments on 10th Avenue, Eligio Ramirez Park, and that's on Madrigal Drive, Joe Caballo Park. That says bus, so I'm not sure what that means. If transportation is available to those in that area, maybe it's more rural. Again, I'll see if I can track that information down. Joe Orduno Park, and also San Luis High School and the Yuma County Library San Luis branch. Again, these are just some of the locations.
Are you going to post this so that on Facebook or our webpage, that way they can find it?
It's actually on our website already at monstermediayuma.com. If you click on the Community Matters page, because we have the information sent from School District 1 and then also the high school district, because there are different times available and locations in case people might not know. Sometimes people would want to go to the place closest to them.
And I'm going to chime in on that. This is free to children from 0 to, that can consume food to 18 years old. But they do also offer reduced costs for adults.
Adults, exactly.
So if you're hungry, it's a great opportunity. They're well-balanced meals, which I love. It's really focusing on making sure you're getting...
We can say the H word, too, for some of these because it's in reference to a prepared meal. They are serving hot meals, too.
That's right.
So that's very important to know. And for District 1, a child and breakfast and lunch are free, like Anita mentioned. Adult breakfast is $1.50 and adult lunch is $2.50. I know, Teresa, didn't your mom go and have lunch with Eli at the library or something a few times?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a way to, if you can't get a meal for $2.50. You can't get breakfast anywhere for $1.50. So it's not only beneficial to the kids, but it's also beneficial to the adults. I know, when we were younger, we used to go take advantage of that too. Little says that he knew what it was like to be hungry.
He said, I remember being a kid and just hoping I would eat that day.
Exactly. He said this program would have helped out a lot. So
when we first moved here, we've been in Yuma almost 12 years. July will be 12 years. When we first moved here, it was a leap of faith, and we weren't sure if we were going to, get jobs quickly. And we were living with my in-laws, and I felt the burden that we were putting on them, and it was hard for me.
Yeah.
But I was able to take my children every day to the library. The 4 boys, we would go every day. pick up books, exchange books, and they would eat lunch there. And it was a way for me to make sure they're, one, getting a healthy meal, and two, to reduce that burden on my in-laws, because I had such guilt about putting that strain on them. And we were very fortunate. God provided, and we were able to get jobs and move forward. But I loved having that opportunity to take the boys and know that they were going to get a healthy meal every day.
Up to you.
At the library.
All right, again, go to monstermediayuma.com. We do have the links on the Community Matters tab. If you pull their, I think it's under, is it under my news, the little drop down?
Yes, exactly.
And you can find both of those flyers there with information, addresses, times, and the phone numbers to contact if you're curious. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our last break here on Today in Yuma on Z93 Outlaw Country, monstermediayuma.com. We'll be back.
Yeah, it's only like 2 minutes. Well, 3 minutes. It'll be all right. We can come back with something
You can
short.
take, whoa.
Okay.
Pretty sure I put these on the website. Let me look. Sometimes things I was in the process of doing.
Oh, you think you've done?
Yeah.
I'm notorious for, I thought I did that.
I started doing
I
that.
did.
And then a squirrel happened.
I did just see that post about little boys yesterday. The smell. Enjoy that sweet little baby smell now.
Oh, yeah, amen, because they
Like
become
a
young
ra-
adults.
Like
and
a
then,
it'd be like a raccoon died in your car.
yep. And I have 4 in my house. You have 1.
But Eli said something about that smell this weekend.
Okay, so one thing we found out about our new puppy, Rocky, he likes socks.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, boys, we're going to have to work on this.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to go through socks like crazy.
Oh, I did put them on there.
Good job,
I
Jack.
wasn't envisioning it. I left the Eagle Scout, the water drive. They had the shop and drop Saturday, but you can arrange for a pickup through May 20th, so it's still on there too.
Yeah, he said something.
What's that smell, Mom?
No, he, I think it was when we were at breakfast.
Little, that's Madrigal Drive, not Magical Drive. So you could hop on the Magical school bus and go there.
He said something about, I think it was Saturday.
I love
said
the Magic School Bus.
He said something like, I was like, yeah, you need to go home and take a bath. And he's all, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You get a smelly kid. Or something like that. I started laughing. I was like, yeah, you are smelly. I think we were at Leah's playing cards when he said that.
Because I didn't see that listed on the list, which I have.
Oh. All right, you ready? Yep. We only have 4 minutes. Okay. We can talk about my show not getting canceled. I would be very happy.
The
Right?
terror, the horror.
I know.
Well, Kelly Clarkson's doing the thing,
I'm
so
gonna-
we're going to go over there and put our name on it.
Hashtag renew timeless.
There you go.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
A lot of people freaked out over the weekend as most of the networks announced shows that were going to be canceled and renewed for the next season.
Yeah, you scared me this morning. Anita and I have been watching the show Timeless on NBC since it started, and I every Monday it comes on Sunday night. So every Monday I'm like, "Are you caught up? Are you caught up?" Because so we can talk about it. You know, I really enjoy this show because it's kind of it's kind of involves time travel. You know, they get into this time machine, but they travel to some really historic events that happened in history. And I love the outfits. I love the hair. I love all of that. And plus, it does have some historical. It kind of follows a line, and it's not. They embellish it a little bit so that they can create the story, but it takes you back. And I was kind of sad. You scared me at first because you said, I don't think that was one that was renewed. And the way that they left the season finale last night, they better renew it.
It's one of those that was still listed as unknown, but with social media and the reach and power that a lot of individuals have by using it, the things have just changed. Well, Kelly Clarkson has started a campaign. She wants them to keep it. So
Hashtag renew timeless, please. Thank you.
and a lot of people were upset because Fox was ending Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
But it's not going away.
And it's not going away. I guess it was one of the thoughts was Hulu would pick it up because Hulu carries it anyway, and it's one of the most viewed sitcoms on their network. Well, I believe NBC has now picked it up.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's going to be moving over there, but Fox has picked up Last Man Standing, which ended in 2016.
I'm glad. I like
And
that show.
One of the ideas here was that they didn't think it was very well received because Tim Allen and the whole approach was very conservative. Well, with Roseanne out there, she is very conservative and
Very.
pro-current administration.
Very.
And it's being received quite well. And I loved Last Man Standing. I liked the banter and the back and forth with him and his wife and kids and his neighbor.
And his
the
neighbor.
The relationship with him and his neighbor was hilarious. So
Well, and
I'm glad it's coming back.
I think they're realizing too that the reruns are getting watched. It does play a rerun.
The reruns are on CMT for Last
Yeah.
Man Standing, and it's got a big audience there. But they did opt to bring it back. But I think it's probably got a pretty big price tag, which is why Fox is also letting go some of the other series. But some of the others I wasn't a fan of, so it's okay.
It's okay. You know, as long as they don't take away my Chicago shows, I'm good.
Those are good. They're
I
fine.
watch every single Chicago show there is out there. So Chicago
Well,
Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD.
I'm gonna have to find a way to catch up on a lot of my NBC stuff. I can find on Hulu.
Yes.
But the CBS shows not so much. So I'm trying to figure out. Probably just use the CBS app and go ahead and pay for that and figure it out because I don't have those channels locally.
And a lot of times you can go onto the website and catch up on
Not
Only
always.
for a
Yeah, for a
short.
short period, but they're wanting you to pay.
Yeah, short
because
period.
They
Gotta
all,
love
They
it.
all got to get that scratch.
Yeah, they do.
All right, it's Today in Yuma coming up tomorrow. Allison Morgan from Arizona Western College. It's graduation week, so we'll talk about that. And Jennifer Warnock from Walgreens will be talking about Red Nose Day, so we'll have to dig our red noses out.
That's right.
All
I
right.
have mine.
I saw mine the other day. I know where it's at. If you can believe that, in my pit of an office.
I'm going to have to go find mine because I might have to go to Walgreens and get another one.
All right, we will see everyone back here tomorrow 9 to 10 on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com, and FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed, KCYK Yuma and KLJZ Yuma. Good morning, Richard. Enjoy your trip.
Yes,
Thank you, Anita, of course. Happy Monday, guys. Be safe out there. Enjoy the weather before the heat gets turned up.